I spent an entire day shooting photos for 4 different brands and none of them actually hired me. And then I gave them all the photos for free. Hey, my name is Andrew Stone and I create photo and video content for CPG brands that helps build trust with their audience and drive more sales. I've always believed the best way to get the work you want is to make the work first. Recently, I've been in a creative rut and also I've come to realize that I really love working with healthy bev brands. And so I did my research, made a list of brands, picked 4 and decided, screw it. I'm just gonna do a spec shoot all in studio in one day and crush it. So here's how it went down. The goal here wasn't just to create a few nice photos, but to create legit campaign imagery that brands could actually use. I will say my goal was to make it pretty quick and efficient as we were shooting 4 brands in 8 hours. I didn't have half a day to shoot one brand, so we had to be pretty tight with our schedule. For me going into this, it's a win just to do the shoot itself. So if I didn't even land any of these clients or didn't see any future work because of it, it's a win for me. I get to grow my creative skills, especially on the studio side of things, as that's something I haven't done a ton of. And then also these 4 different shoots are going to live my portfolio, which is super helpful. And then heck, I can pitch it to other brands. So for me, it was a win. As far as pre-production goes, I have been unashamedly using ChatGPT to generate some images. So I kind of rambled into it for each of the brands, sent some reference photos, and had it create me kind of like a rough mood board, shot list vibe. And honestly, you'll see on the screen here, I actually used some of these as references and it was really helpful for me. The things I really wanted to be strong were number 1, the talent, and then number 2, the wardrobe. I've come to find when working with talent, it's super helpful to have people you number 1 know and trust. And then if there's multiple models, it's helpful if they already know and trust each other. The chemistry is so much better and it just runs a lot smoother. And that was the case here. The models knew each other. They're both super creative. We've all worked together and it was a fun time. For wardrobe, I tried something a bit different. I decided to outsource it. I reached out to my friend Amanda and she's awesome. She's got a Depop vintage store. So we had her handle all of the wardrobe and styling and she absolutely crushed it. As far as props go, kept it pretty simple. I went to Aldi to grab fruit and then I had a few other miscellaneous things I grabbed at home. All right, let's dive into the actual shoot itself. Brand number 1 was Leisure Hydration. And for this one, we went with a bright yellow backdrop. We wanted that fun, summery, warm vibe. And as you can see with the models, we had them kind of alternate colors. So Kenna wore a light blue top and then like the kind of maroon burgundy bottoms. And then Sile did the opposite to keep that color contrast. So I feel like it paired really nicely with. We started with group shots, then did individual shots, and then moved into more product centric shots. And then with the rest of the time, we just kind of got weird, had fun, had him do some weird poses as you'll see here. And yeah, I feel like this one was really good to kind of break the ice and get the creative juices flowing. And you can see here, we did just a little bit of styling with the fruit. So, we had the blueberries, we had the mango, we had the lemons, and then for individual photos, we also put lemons around the drink on the floor. Moving on to shoot number 2, my favorite was Slice. When I was envisioning this shoot, I pictured bright orange backdrop, fun colors, think 80s, retro windbreaker, boombox, that kind of vibe. And I think this one was my favorite because that vision I had in my head, I feel like we executed it the best out of all the brands. And if you didn't know, I'm a huge lover of all things 80s, so this just naturally was super fun. As far as the breakdown, it was pretty similar. We actually started though with more product centric. We kind of built a scene with the boombox, with the drinks, and with some of the fruit. And we started slow and just continued from there. And a little tip I've learned when shooting product photos for these brands is leave negative space, whether it's on top, on the bottom, or the side, so they can use that negative space to put text on there for these ads. We moved on to some group photos, which were so fun. The talent had some really fun, weird ideas for poses. And I was like, heck, let's just do it. Let's do any and everything, any idea you got. And as you'll see, we had some fun. One of the shots we had Kenna, she bent over and had Sile on her back. They're facing back to back. You'll see, and like his legs are up, her legs are down, and she's like trying to hand him the soda. It was so wild. It was so fun. And they held it there for like almost a minute straight. It was amazing. I was impressed. One other thing for this scene, when we moved on to individuals, I decided to turn off the strobe and just use the one key light off to the side. So we shot on like the darker side of the face. We went for more of that like moody, contrasty look. And I did some wide angle stuff. We went for more of like a kind of like at a party vibe. You'll even see in some of the photos, I intentionally left the background in the shot where there isn't backdrop. There's just like junk and crap in the corner. And we kind of wanted to lean into that to make it feel really raw and spur the moment. Moving on to shoot number 3, this one was for a brand named Joggy. They make healthy energy drinks. For this one, we went with the blue backdrop and we decided to really lean into primary colors. So we got red, yellow, blue, and then green. And the products themselves were yellow, kind of like a magenta, and then green color. So I feel like all of those colors tied in really nicely together. As far as the breakdown, we followed a pretty similar flow to Slice. We actually started first with product centric, did a few just product shots with the fruit, hand reaching for it, that kind of thing. And then we moved on to the group shots. We got really weird once again with some of the poses you'll see here. Yeah, we just did some wild stuff and I love it. I love this kind of stuff. The ideas, the creative juices were flowing. Moved on to some individuals. We also tried some direct flash photos. So we really wanted to go for that. Almost think like you're at a party and someone has their camera and it's just got a little flash on there. Kind of went for that vibe. And I think it really played in nice with the brand. Shoot number 4, Hi-Q. I think that's how you pronounce it. They are an electrolyte hydration beverage. Really tasty, to be honest. The nice thing for this one, we just kept up the blue backdrop as it played really nicely into their brand colors. From a wardrobe perspective, this one was the least weird, I would say. We went for more of a sporty vibe, but it still had somewhat of a vintage feel to it, which I love, you know. Being that this was the last shoot of the day, we were all getting pretty tired, so creative juices were kind of dwindling. We were like getting bored when it came to poses. It felt like we'd already done everything under the sun. I kind of had to push through that mental roadblock as a creative when you're taking photos and you're just like, are any of these photos good? Kind of pushed through it. I was like, no, these are good. We're getting good shots. It felt a bit redundant at this point. When it comes to the flow of this, we did a pretty similar thing. Started with some product centric and then moved on to group, did some individuals. And with this one specifically, given that it was like a more of a sports themed drink, I wanted some more motion blur. So I did just that, turned down my shutter speed, kind of shook my camera around, and I'll show a few photos here where there's motion blur. Other thing we leaned into was sweat. You know me, I'm a big fan of my glycerin and water combo. We sprayed the cans to give it that fake condensation and then also sprayed the talent to give it that fake sweat. And you'll see in some of these photos, we leaned into that. Didn't want to way overdo it, but it's still enough where you see the light hitting it, gives them that sweaty look, playing into, once again, the sweat element of this drink because it's great for replenishing electrolytes when you sweat a lot. After that, we wrapped up the shoot. I came home, edited the photos very quickly because I was very excited, and I sent out the photos to the brands completely free. No strings attached, no contract, no invoice, free. And we waited. Because sometimes the best pitch is just showing people what you can do. And in case you're wondering, we will wait to see what they say. Stay tuned for maybe a part 2, ? We shall see. I don't know. What I've come to learn is a lot of creatives, including myself, wait for permission to make the kind of work they want to make. And I found this true for myself. I was getting in this rut. I was believing these lies that like, man, I'm never going to be able to be as good as XYZ or so-and-so. I'll never figure it out. All of these like stupid limiting thoughts. And I just thought to myself, like, what's stopping me? And I came to realize it's me. I'm stopping me. So I said, screw it. Bought the backdrops, did the thing, and crushed it. And it was so fun. And like, the sky's the limit from here. So for me personally, this was empowering to help me just do the thing. If you have the idea, do it. Spend the money, go for it, take the risk, and you'll never regret it. And to be honest, the brands you want to work with need to see the work you're doing first. So this is me showing brands the work I do first. I'm trying to just practice what I preach. All right, that's it.